Hello, all you beautiful people in Webtown. Welcome back to Crypto Comics. Do you remember when we went through the creator-owned universe card set? You remember that card set when we looked at those? And one of them was Power and Glory? Well, this is the comic book that came from that card set. This is Power and Glory by Howard Chaykin. It is from Malibu Comics, the Bravura imprint. This was their creator-owned imprint they did in 1994 during the height of the comic book boom. Now, Howard Chaykin, if you don't know, is a renowned comic book writer and artist who started under the legendary Gil Kane. He did a lot of work for DC and Marvel throughout the 1970s. And then in 1983, he launched American Flag for First Comics, where he was both the writer and artist. It was an incredibly successful independent comic, incredibly influential, mixing all of Chaykin's favorite ideas and interests: jazz, pulp adventure, science fiction, and sex. The series proved to be extremely popular with people, and in 1988, Chaykin created what was probably his most controversial title, Black Kiss, a 12-issue series from Vortex Comics that featured explicit depictions of sex and violence. The story is about a coven of vampires in Hollywood who are obsessed with sex. And this seems to be a continuing theme. Power and Glory does not have an obsession with sex. It is suggested for mature readers. I'm going to say you cannot let this comic anywhere near someone under the age of 21. And I'm not actually going to read this comic to you all the way through because it has a lot of racism and homophobia and explicit language and extremely foul jokes that I would never dare say in a video on YouTube. This is no doubt not just suggested for mature readers, required for mature readers. But it started really strong. See, it's a satire on public relations and government-created superheroes. It's actually pretty interesting, but as a kid, I can't believe this was on a shelf in a comic shop within reach of my hands. I was shocked reading this as an adult, and I've commented previously on my reviews of Solitaire from Malibu Comics' Ultraverse imprint that there are some more mature themes, but nothing as explicit as this. Not even close. Gerard Jones, the writer of Solitaire, was not a good man. And after reading this, I can't help but think Howard Chaykin was working at Malibu also, and some of the stuff he's talking in here would be right up Gerard Jones's alley, I would say. Only in America, a country as big, as proud, as powerful, as humble as ours, could bring forth so mighty a champion as the American powerhouse. In a world of quick fixes, of meaningless slogans, it's good, hey, it's terrific, to know there's someone special you can count on when the chips are down. You know what they call a guy who still makes a noise when he farts in prison? I can't imagine, sir. A virgin! Ha 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 ha! Wow. That's just the beginning. It devolves way into a lot of stuff that I'm not going to talk about in a video. From Lexington and Concord to Desert Storm, Americans have always been their own heroes. Today, a new American hero explodes across the star-spangled sky. A new American solution to the problems of the next American century. God bless the USA. A virgin! That's terrific, sir! Oh, what'd you pay Heston to narrate this? It was a freebie. He owed me a favor. And God bless the American powerhouse. You are wasting my time, Malcolm, my boy. This is all done with special effects. A product of Genuflex International, where God and genius are in the details. But we can do it all, for real. I don't know, Lestrange. George Lucas screwed up NASA buck good. Who gave a damn about our feeble little space program with all those zippy little starships? I appreciate your concern, sir, but we can do everything we've shown here, except maybe the flying stuff. And Joe Sixpack's gonna eat this up with a spoon. The problems of the world solved by a superhero. An American superhero. Right. Remember the good old days when we'd still won the Second World War? The Japs are great with stereos. The Krauts are hot with cars. We both know they really won World War II, but nobody makes a hero like the USA. Save it for the press, my boy. You've got some ass to save after that screw-up in Mazatlan. How many nuns was it your guys killed by accident? 6. And they were communists. And I thought we were putting that behind us. Screw up again, Lestrange, and you'll have 2 choices. Bending over in Nicaragua or swallowing a mouthful in Beirut. Yeah, this is not for kids. It's not even close for kids. This is for grown-ass adults, 21-year-old and up, for sure. It gets way worse than this, but it's really pretty, and it is an interesting story. I was interested in this story quite a bit actually as I went through it. It kind of started to lull a little at the end, but to be honest, I ripped it out. Are you fan enough? Bravura Gold Stamp Program. See, this is it. Each issue of the following Bravura titles: Breed number 1 through 6, Power and Glory 1 through 4, Edge 1 through 4, Dreadstar 1 through 6, Star Slammers 1 through 5, will feature a special Bravura Gold Stamp. Remove it from the enclosure and place it in its reserved spot on the Bravura Gold Stamp Program card. As each tier is filled, you can redeem it for rare and collectible Bravura comics. So here's the stamp. So you take out this Power and Glory stamp right here in the corner. It's not gold. They call it a gold stamp program. It's not gold. And let's just see. I'm sure they have it in the back. A lot of these, just nice art, old school art. Hot threesome. Yeah, not for kids. I told you. I'm telling you, this is definitely not for kids. Oh, Breed. I'm tempted to pick up Breed by Jim Starlin and see what that's all about. Here we go. Are you fan enough? Announcing the Bravura Gold Stamp Program. So, with each section of gold stamps you complete, you're going to get a new special comic book that's only available through mail. You fill this out, Please check below all tiers completed on the reverse side here. You fill this out, and they'll send you all these comics, through the mail. I actually don't think I've ever seen what they sent out. I might have to look for those in my local comic shop. This right here is probably going to best explain Howard Chaykin. There's a short little interview here by a gentleman named Sean McLaughlin. He asks Howard, "What is Power and Glory?" Chaykin says, "Power and Glory is what happens when the United States gets into the business of producing a superhero who turns out to be good only at looking like a superhero. The guy who trains him winds up doing the dirty work behind the scenes. The theme of the book in the simplest terms would be, why be a hero when you can just look like one?" McLaughlin follows up, "What was the genesis of Power and Glory?" Chaykin responds, "I've always been taken to task for doing heroes who aren't really good and villains who aren't really bad. But I believe heroes are people who do things because they have to, and villains are people who see themselves as heroes for the other side. My views are different from a lot of the guys I work with in comics. I don't believe we can be saved. I don't believe that evil is an external intrusion. I think everything is gray. I believe that we are all tainted by sin and defect, and we respond to human hungers." Is Power and Glory a reaction to this? Chaykin retorts, "Power and Glory is a reaction to the emptiness of content in most superhero comics lately. There's no action in contemporary comics, only poses. The artists are all very good at doing convention sketch art. That's not what I'm interested in. For more, you'll have to read the Malibu Sun, issue 34. Malibu Sun was, like the preview guide for Malibu. Take a look in the big yellow book for the comic book store nearest you. This is an advertisement to look in your local Yellow Pages for a comic book shop near you. Yellow Pages were a giant book like this thick, right? That had every single person's phone number in it and every single business's phone number in it. The white pages were for residential numbers, and the yellow pages were for businesses. And this is crazy to see. What a flashback. Now you just Google a phone number. Oh, here's all the Bravura titles. Starlin, Star Slammers, Breed, Star Slammers by Walt Simonson, Power and Glory by Howard Chaykin, Edge by Stephen D. Grant and Gil Kane. Deuce by Dan Jurgens. Dreadstar, Dan Brereton's The Nocturnals. Yeah, I can't remember that one. I don't remember this one at all. I don't remember this because the art looks so crappy. This is the only one I'm interested in. And what about Rune? Where's Rune by Barry Windsor Smith, my arch nemesis? So this is Power and Glory, and I can't go through any more of it because it's inappropriate for people under the age of 30. But I wanted to show it to you because I saw it in my collection. I was just like, and then I read it, and I was just like, how in the blue hell did I get my hands on this when I was a little kid? Not appropriate for minors. And it reminded me of that creator-owned universe card set that we went through, because this is one of the very few comics to actually come out of that. Breed, another Bravura title by Jim Starlin, also happened to be featured in the creator-owned universe card set. I don't recall any of these other ones, though. Just Power and Glory. The Nocturnals might have been in there, actually. Might have been. Anyway, that's Power and Glory. If you're over the age of 30, you might like this 4-issue miniseries. If you're under the age of 30, you should ask your parents to read it before you do, because it has some things that are really gross. Like, there are jokes in this that you don't tell in a comic book. It's like, why would you want to put your name on that? So anyways, that's it for this review of Crypto Comics. I'm sorry it was short-lived, but it's just inappropriate. I can't let the kids get their hands on this. I'm just giving you a warning if you're an adult. If your kid pulls that out, because, you know, it looks just like something a little kid would want. No, no, not at all. Not at all. Just remember, crypto's looking out for you.
Legends of the Lone Wolf. 80-page full-color anthology. With your support, we will bring you a perfect-bound 80-page book of the highest quality. Everyone involved has donated their time and talent, and all the money will go to printing and shipping before any of the creators turn a profit. Unlike other anthology books, Legends of the Lone Wolf contains a 38-page feature-length supernatural story. That's nearly twice the size of a regular comic book. This campaign is the only way to get the variant-aged edition of Lone Wolf's #1. This highly unique version of our first issue will be printed on a stunning aged newsprint and features a cover by the one and the only Muttman. So don't sit on your hands, Wolfomaniacs. You're gonna have to get out there and grab a copy for yourself. Oh yeah!